talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. If she be down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How are y'all doing, Postal family? What's good? What's good? Before we get into the video, people were talking about how do they change their allotments. Oh, I know I had a video about that, but apparently there's a phone number and it's a lot easier than I made it out to be because somebody else called and they did it. It only took them like 30 seconds. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you'll never know. But if you need your allotment or your net to bank situated, you go on your light blue. And right now on light blue, you can't change it because of all the postal stuff going on with the cyber criminals, etc. So you actually have to call a specific number. I don't have the number, sorry. Actually, I think I put it in the last video. You call the number and you're able to just change your allotments. Why would you want to change your allotments? Suppose you want to take half your check and give it to your ex-wife. Not saying that's what I do, but or you get the BMG money because oh yeah, that's another thing. You in order to get your loans from the payday loan place, you have to have an allotment set up. So you have to call the human resource department. I think you walk you through a couple steps. You're done in like 2 minutes, and then you're able to set up the allotment, upload it to BMG Money, so you get your loan for feds. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's in the video description, as well as the purchasing power. You need to set up an allotment. If you want to set up an allotment for a savings account, it's basically how you move your money around. If you just want direct deposit, you have to call the number. It's just to protect your number, protect your money, protect yourself, protect your family. You want to keep that money in your pocket. Let's talk about what we got going on here. We just had a video about the networking and the post office and all these S&DCs and the CDCs and the FBIs and the CIA. All these acronyms and letters is driving me crazy. I know it drives you guys crazy too. The sorting and delivery centers and the processing and distribution centers in the center of the center. We're going to just take a peek and see what they got. And, you know, people doubted it before, but I tried to tell you. I tried to told you. Nobody wanted to believe it, but here we just gonna review it, and you guys tell me. We just chop the video up. We'll see. Let's see what they talking about. Let's see what they talking about.
A plan that would combine and centralize carrier operations in new, larger sorting facilities.
And one of those facilities would be here in Bryan. But not everybody's happy about that. News 3's Donnie Tuggle breaks down the plan and its potential impacts on the way that mail is sorted and distributed throughout the Brazos Valley.
So they're saying that they are basically making bigger facilities and centralizing them. We got that. All right, let's keep going.
The Postal Service wants to reshape mail deliveries. The Bryan Post Office is one of 3 initial sites identified that would convert existing spaces into sorting and delivery centers. The goal, they say, is to save money by becoming more efficient in transportation while improving operating conditions for employees. But those against the plan, like retired mail carrier Jamie Partridge, say it does the complete opposite.
What I'm gathering is they're doing this to save costs as far as transportation so far. That's what we're gathering. A lot of people don't like it because they don't know what's going to happen. Uncertainty can throw people for a loop. I get it. Uncertainty can throw people for that. What the hell is going on? What was really going on? But I just want to hear and see. Let's see what else they talking about. See what they talking about. Mr. Retired Man, I don't know why he's even talking, but let's check him out.
Letter carriers are working into the night, into the dark, and they're quitting. People are retiring early, but people get hired on and then they quit. And so this plan would just accelerate that process.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree, Mr. Retired Man. He's saying that the plan is gonna accelerate the process of people just quitting. People quit because they apparently don't need the money. No, I'm just talking ish right now. But I mean, if you really are with it and you invested in your work-life environment, then you're not just going to quit. He's saying people are quitting because of the distance that you're going to have to drive and the late night hours that comes with the job. And if you don't believe me that it comes with the job, when you check out the job description, initially when you apply for the job, it says hours varies. It says it. I don't know why it's such a shocker to everybody. And then I get all these people, I gotta work so late. It clearly says hours varies. And if we are the post office, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, what hours could that be? 24 hours, 7 days a week. Those are the hours that vary. But that's not a lecture. That's for another day. Another day. Let's see what this is looking like.
According to initial plans, mail sorting will no longer be done in individual facilities. Instead, carriers from College Station, Caldwell, Hearn, Navasota, and North Zulch will have to travel to Bryan to pick up their mail and then go back to their communities to deliver it. Partridge says that will increase route times on an already strained system.
I can see that. I can see that. They're saying that the sorting is no longer going to be done at the station. So basically, the clerks that are at the stations will not be there. They're going to be done at this mega facility, which in turn creates the travel time. The travel time between when the carrier gets to the facility and to back to the neighborhood, it may be a little while. So one or two things could happen. They will lose a lot of travel time. But again, you're getting paid to drive an hour each way, half hour each way, whatever it is. And my opinion, again, it's just an opinion. Who am I? I'm just some guy that's on the screen. Is that you're probably going to get less of a route. So if your route entailed an 8-hour day, I think they're going to cut it back to 6 hours of actual work time. But what do I know? This is where your unions come into effect and they work their magic. Look, man, you wanted him to do he bid on an 8-hour route, and that's what he had before. He was only driving 10 minutes away, but now he's going to drive an hour away. You got to take 2 hours off his route, which in turn creates more work because they're going to need more carriers. See how the dynamic works? It's just an opinion. Let's see what Mr. Retiree is talking about. Come on, Mr. Retiree.
Motor carrier is forced to travel sometimes an hour to get to work and then travel a significant distance just to get to their routes because of this new consolidation plan is a losing proposition.
But what's most concerning for Partridge is the potential impact on traditional facilities in rural communities. He says displaced carriers and clerks are already impacting the Athens, Georgia facility that recently made the transition.
The local post office is understaffed, and they have lines out the door, and people are having trouble getting their mail on time. And yeah, it has a huge impact.
In Bryan, Donnie Tuggle, News 3.
The Postal Service declined to speak on camera about this, but said the change will not impact the locations of the retail units, and this includes P.O. boxes.
Well, there goes. The retail units, which are the window service, won't be impacted. If you're a window clerk, you got a job. I guess that's what they mean. They're saying they're not going to knock down the building. They're just going to get all the work from inside the building and put them in a distribution center that's probably more fitting. How many of you actually work at a post office, one of the stations, and the place is just, have you looked around and looked up at the ceilings? The ceilings are caked with dirt and dust. If any of you getting off and just watching this, go into your bathroom, get yourself a Q-tip, put a little bit of alcohol on it, and wipe the inside of your nose. Man, woman, other, whatever you guys call yourselves, and see how much dirt is in. You're inhaling that every day. Why? Because these buildings are old. You shouldn't be working it. You'll have breathing problems later. But I ain't knocking the place. I'm just saying, if they building some new facilities, I prefer health and driving and getting the fresh wind instead of being on some caked up place where you got lazy custodians that don't want to clean because they can't reach the ceilings. That dirt's been there since 19something. It don't make sense to me. Let's stick to the topic, Jay. Nonetheless, I think it's going to create more work. It's definitely going to create more travel time. Somebody said something about, it's going to burn more in gas. Well, this is where the EV vehicles come from, the electric vehicles. So all of it is kind of playing into it. We've been talking about this the last 8 months. If you don't know, go back and just check them out. Where the electric vehicles come into play. So it kind of takes away from the fuel costs. Yes, it costs initially. Initially, there will be cost to start and put these centers up so we could charge our vehicles, but that's a one-time fee. Anybody that knows anything about business, there's always an initial one-time fee that you're gonna have to fork up front. The rest plays it out. Either we win or we lose. but we've been here since 17 something. The country was built off of the United States Postal Service, so we still winning. But let me know what y'all think about what you heard. I mean, it's just a conversation piece. It's a conversation piece. Hopefully you guys don't take digs at me. I mean, I got battered a few months ago and you guys was like, oh my goodness, Jay, you guys are crazy. It's not gonna happen. With that being said, this is JH. Y'all have a good one. Let's see how this video plays out. And we out.